welcome back to Hard Hitters. This week, I'm your host, Sarah Mankowitz, and I'm joined with, as you know,
Lynch,
and our new special guest.
Hey guys, I'm Nathan Wilson.
And we're going to get right into it. Our top game of the week was Eagles versus 49ers. We had predicted that the 49ers were going to beat the Eagles because, let's be honest, the Eagles haven't had a great season. But the Eagles ended up winning 25-20, which was very shocking. I mean, it could be that Garoppolo didn't play. Like, I must say, Jimmy Garoppolo does carry the team quite a bit. But what do you think, Ian?
Yeah, I was still surprised that the 49ers lost because they showed even without Jimmy playing that they still could win, even despite all the injuries they had. I was expecting them to easily take care of the Eagles, but like you said, we were all wrong about that this week.
Yes, and then COVID has affected a lot of the games too. I mean, we've got Cam Newton that didn't play for the Patriots, and I mean, that game was delayed, not by a lot, but by a little bit. And the Steelers versus Titans game was postponed to October 25th. There's been numerous accounts of Titans getting COVID. What do you guys think of all these delayed games and changing bye weeks and so many players on a single team having COVID?
Yeah, just 5 hours ago, another Titan tested positive for COVID-19, so now this week's game against the Bills is up in the air and they don't know if it's going to happen. I just think all this rescheduling is going to have huge conflicts for everyone involved because they weren't ready to not be playing that week, or now they have extra days off, which could benefit some teams, which is unfair to other teams who have like a Monday game and then they're playing Sunday. So I think it's going to be interesting to see.
Definitely. I mean, we had so many injuries a couple of weeks ago, too. That's obviously going to affect what players are playing and who's going to win, obviously. But what do you think, Nathan?
So I think it's going to be, we can reschedule it a couple of times, but unfortunately when we come to the playoff season, we're not going to be able to do that. And I believe the NHL did a great job when they created a bubble. And I don't know if you saw that they all kind of had it in one facility. Unfortunately, that we're not doing that in the NFL, and we're going to end up pretty much delaying everything because they want to still keep the Super Bowl the same date. I don't know how they're going to do that. But for me, I'm a little sad because I enjoy being fat, eating my pup sub in the couch and watching the Sunday game. So I'm sad a little bit some of these teams are getting rescheduled.
Definitely. Then moving right into our predictions. Let's see how this week's goes. We've got Bucks at Bears. Thoughts, Ian?
I have the Bucks this week. They're coming off 3 back-to-back wins, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And the only concern right now I have with the Bucks is their injury list. They have a couple wide receivers out, a couple running backs that are questionable. But the good thing is Tom Brady showed this past week he had 5 touchdowns thrown to 5 different receivers, so he showed he could still work with what he has. So I have the Bucks.
And Sunday football, we've got Jags versus Texans. Nathan, any thoughts?
Texans, obviously. Texans. Oh my gosh, not the Jaguars. Okay, if the Jaguars ever win a game, I'm definitely buying a lottery ticket. That's the rule.
My reasoning was, well, let's be honest. Minshew Mania has kind of crumbled a little bit this year, not going to lie, but their defense just has not been up to par. I think that they're fairly good with their offense, but they just don't have the defense to make it up. But then moving into Panthers versus Falcons. Yeah.
All right, I have the Panthers as well. I just think the Falcons are still, I mean, their offense is clicking. They're putting up points. It's just their defense is allowing too many points scored against them, which is why they haven't won a game yet. But I do have the Panthers because they showed they can win without McCaffrey, who's out. And then once eventually he comes back, they'll be able to play better. So
moving into Cardinals versus Jets, I have the Cardinals. The Jets have been very underwhelming. And as we saw, Jake had picked the Jets last week. And we saw how that went. It wasn't too great. I mean, they just haven't had a good season. They're lacking on both offense and defense, really. So I have to pick the Cardinals. Right? Okay, and then we got Rams versus Washington.
Yeah, I have the Rams as well. Like you mentioned, their defense has been really good so far this season. And also the interesting thing with Washington this week is they're not playing Dwayne Haskins, who actually looked really well against the Ravens last week. He had 314 yards and ran for a touchdown. But despite that, they're not starting him, which I find interesting. So.
And then Giants versus Cowboys.
I'm going to say the Giants. Cowboys, they're terrible, man. Like, the defense is awful. The amount of missed tackles, tackling the wrong person. I don't know if you saw the footage. But, like, oh my gosh. I mean, as the rivals, they should really be more on par with each other and be a little bit more of a match and have more of a closer game. But Cowboys are not doing it for me this year.
Okay, and then we have Colts versus Browns. Like I said, the Browns did beat the Cowboys last week. It was 49-38. I think that the Browns have been doing exceptionally well. We saw that they beat the Cowboys 49-38 last week, and I think that the Browns they've been 3-1. Like, they've got it. I say the Browns. Okay, and then we've got Chargers versus Saints.
I think it is going to be close. But I have the Saints this week. It's just, yes, the Saints have been struggling on offense and getting things going. They'll come out.
Drew Brees has not looked good. You have to admit.
Yeah, he has not looked good, but at the end of the day, I have experience of Brees over Herbert, which is going to be the big difference in this game, I feel.
Okay, and then we've got Bills versus Titans. This game may or may not happen, but I think that if they were to play it this week, I think that the Titans would win.
As I said, I mean, the Bills are an explosive team this year. They were kind of an explosive team last year. They kind of made a pretty good size run during the playoffs last season, and so I'm thinking it's going to be the Bills. I think the Bills are going to do really well this year.
Nathan, you're supposed to agree with me again.
No,
you lost
no.
me here.
See, that's when you're wrong. That's where I have to draw the line.
Okay, moving along, we've got the Bengals versus the Ravens.
This week I have the Bengals. For me, the big question mark is whether or not Lamar Jackson plays. He's coming off a knee injury, so they don't know if he's going to play or not. The Ravens' defense is the 11th worst pressure rate in the NFL, so I think even with the struggling offensive line of the Bengals, they're still going to be able to give Burrow enough of time to be able to make plays.
I'm picking the Ravens, man. Put in my boy Chase McSorley. He will get the job done. He's on TikTok. He's on the field. This man is explosive. Even if you don't have Chase McSorley, you still have RG3, which is a very solid quarterback. I mean, he's not only good in the pocket, but he's good in the scramble. Both of them are explosive quarterbacks, but I want Chase McSorley in, and I want him to be a starter, and I want him to win a Super Bowl. I just love this song, too. That also helps as well.
How to predict NFL TikTok.
TikTok is how you predict it in NFL.
Okay. And then we've got Raiders versus Chiefs. In my opinion, a much easier pick. I think the Chiefs are going to win it by a lot, I must say. But you can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, do you care to upset this one, Ian?
No, I agree with you here.
Good. Finally, we agree
We're on
on
the same
something.
page.
Good. And then Eagles versus Steelers. The Steelers are undefeated, I believe, but the Eagles had a very good game against the 49ers. So I think when it comes down to it, I think Juju's on it. I think the Steelers have got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I have the Steelers this week. They're averaging 5 sacks per game, which is leading the league right now. And like we've mentioned in past episodes, the Eagles have a terrible offensive line.
Except when it came to last week.
Week, granted, but they weren't going up against the Steelers defense last week. So
Exactly.
I have the Steelers this week.
Dolphins versus 49ers. I have a feeling you're going to disagree with me because you usually disagree when it comes to the 49ers. But I think the 49ers have got it. I think the Eagles versus 49ers game was just kind of random, honestly. I think that we saw them with the Giants and how that worked, and I think the 49ers have got it.
Yeah, you were right about me disagreeing. I have the Dolphins. It's just...
I know Garoppolo factors in, but still.
Yes, and I also followed you with the 49ers last week, and we see how that ended up for everyone. But anyways...
It was the Eagles.
It was the Eagles. I have the Dolphins because I just think due to injuries, the 49ers are just spread way too thin. And the Dolphins are getting Byron Jones back, which is adding a huge boost to their secondary. And Ryan Fitzpatrick has been looking pretty good. I mean, he's been kind of inconsistent, but if he gets off to a hot start early, I don't think the 49ers are going to be able to stop him.
All right, and then Broncos versus Patriots, the best game of the week. I must say, the Patriots have got it. We did not have a great game against the Chiefs, but let's be honest.
Best game ever. That was the best game. I watched it like 3 times. It was so good.
3 times. Okay. But that was the Chiefs, and we all were just raving about the Chiefs. So I even predicted that the Chiefs were going to win against the Patriots last week. But the Patriots have got it versus the Broncos. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, I have the Patriots as well. I mean, the Broncos I think they're down to their 3rd string quarterback starting. And then the Patriots, Cam Newton has brought a lot of athleticism and running to that new offense, so I'm really excited with that. And he's looked really good this season, so I have the Patriots.
I have the Patriots too. Whoever put a hex on the Broncos, don't do my team dirty like that, man. Come on, they've been injured enough. Don't break their hearts even more. But hopefully they'll have a speedy recovery, and hopefully in the playoffs they'll come back.
Injuries or not, Patriots will still have it. But last game, Vikings versus Seahawks. I gotta pick the Seahawks. The Vikings don't look good. I mean, at all. And I mean, the Seahawks have looked phenomenal this season. You have to say.
Yeah, I have the Seahawks as well. My only concern with the Seahawks going into this game is their secondary has been hit hard with injuries. But even then, like we mentioned, the Vikings have been struggling offensively, so I don't think that's going to be that big of an impact. And also, just the way Russell Wilson's been playing this season, he's coming for that MVP. He wants it badly. He was even quoted saying he doesn't want just a vote, he wants to win. So with that mindset and the way he's been playing, he's been unstoppable.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much for watching Hard Hitters this week, and please tune in next week.